joining us now.
What did he tweet?
Is senior NFL insider for ESPN, Michigan man, friend of the program, ladies and gentlemen, Adam Schefter.
Schefty!
He's doing it right.
Oh, real guy, real.
Good man. Good man.
Wow.
Hey, that was really good operating the room.
You look jacked, Schefter.
Hey, this one here would be you. Hey, if you can't hear it in your other ear, let me know.
Let's see. I got
Can
it.
you hear in both ears?
Both.
We're good.
Okay.
We are good.
Perfect.
This is a big time operation.
Yeah, it's a lot. It's we got in here and we saw it and we're like, massive thank you to everybody involved in setting this thing up. There's 1,000 lights in front of us.
Yep. Yeah.
The lighting is, it feels like
Top notch.
we're
Don't
on
look at
like a
them.
state because we kind of are here.
just did.
Everybody behind the scenes, massively well done. So thank you for joining us, Chef.
By the way, great to be in your city again. I was driving into the airport from the airport last night with a guy. I gave him a ride. I said, how old are you? He said, 31. I said, I've been coming to the Combine longer than you've been alive.
Holy hell. Okay, so thank you for enjoying our city and coming to Indianapolis. A lot of things happen here that aren't just on the field, obviously. A lot of business gets done here. Is that still the case? That was always kind of the rumor. Is that still happening right now?
Always.
You're wheeling and dealing last night, learning stuff, or is there, how's it going for you versus how's it going for the NFL team?
I go to bed early, Pat. I'm not one of
Yeah?
those guys. I'd rather go to bed early and get started early. But
Really?
always.
How early?
So you're not wheeling and dealing around Indianapolis down
No,
there?
I can tell you this. Most reporters, everybody's going out all night, drinking, hanging out.
We got
I don't do that.
take advantage of the drunks. There's loose lips when
Yeah.
they start
Yeah,
drinking.
Same
it
shifts.
goes, by the way, there's fights that break out. It's like,
What?
oh yeah, there's been fights over the years.
Vanderfield
crazy
versus
stuff.
Rap?
Hold
all
on.
kinds of stuff.
I think the big thing everybody could potentially kind of jog a memory of what does happen in Indianapolis during these combine. Remember Jerry Jones took it down and Dean
Yes.
Blandino was on a bus?
Oh, yeah.
And they took it from, I think they took it from like Kilroy's to maybe like
like St.
Tin
Elmo's.
whistle.
yeah, like whatever. It was like right down the road, and he comes off the bus, and everybody's like, "What the hell's going on?" And it felt like everybody was like, "Let's relax. Let's not be talking about this. Let's move on." Because it has always been just like a legal tamper,
Well,
like a legal.
to me, the Combine is always the unofficial start of the offseason because we've got the new league year beginning in 2 weeks. You've got every coach here, every front office member here, every agent here. Every agent is looking to see what his client's worth. Every front office guy is looking to see how he could get his team better. Every coach is evaluating the prospects. It's all happening. It's one big football carnival that goes on in,
So this is like a kickoff happy hour to the offseason here at Indianapolis.
for lack of a better phrase, that's a good way of describing it.
Okay, so what are we hearing around town? Because let me tell you what certainly caught my eye. Anytime a guy who's in the NFL who is warranted of a massive, and we might have breaking news from a lap of Schefter. It's right in between his lap.
I was going to say, what are you looking
Yeah, let me,
You think I'm looking down at my groin or something?
Hey, we can
I'm looking down like
we can
staring
move
at
at? Real
myself.
excited right now. I don't know.
we can move you to that side table if you want it. We could get you a little side table. You want to put the phone up there if you want to, instead, or you just want to look down here.
No, we're good. We're good right
Yeah,
now.
just look down. That's where I put. That's by the way, that is my preferred placement.
That's a good spot.
It's
for
where,
those.
that's where you
Yep.
put your phone if you're cheating in school.
Is that?
Yeah.
Okay, so I went to high school in a time. Nonetheless,
I would never put my phone.
anytime a wide receiver who is warranted a lot of money is at an organization that doesn't normally pay everybody, obviously not everybody does, but the Bengals certainly in the conversation of their own, he puts out a tweet that's just like one emoji.
A blue cap?
Yeah, just saying, hey, that's bullshit.
Yep.
What's going on? Right? That man be capping out there. That is a lie. What are you hearing about the T. Higgins, Duke Tobin situation where he talked about paying him and getting something done and like kind of saying it's going to happen and it's going to be big time, top of the market, and then T immediately responded with cap. What does that mean? Is there like what are you hearing about that entire situation and how do you think it works out?
First of all, I never love in this day and age when we're trying to decipher emojis.
That's
to
real life,
transfer-
though.
Wow.
That's real life.
That's how it goes.
Welcome to real life.
Well, it means capping, right? It means like
He be capping.
yeah, he be capping.
Yeah,
Okay.
going dummy.
Going mad dummy.
So
Well, on capping.
On capping. Yeah, Duke Tobin be dummy.
I didn't know. I didn't know what this means until last night. So I'm getting up to speed on my
Nice.
emojis.
It means bullshit.
and my capping terminology. Look, right now, the Bengals have their stance, and T. Higgins has got his. I think in the end, look, if we take out what everybody thinks, it's probably good business from the Bengals standpoint to tag the guy, to control his rights.
Ugh.
Hold on.
dead.
By the
no,
way,
that's a Patriots fan.
by the way,
He's pissed.
well, hold on. We're going to get to him in a second. We're not done.
Okay. Let me tie it together. I'm not out on drinking. Please, I'm on a
Opportunity.
stage. Please.
Kind of sit back. Let's get to
He's
the
gonna be looking at
punchline.
his-
Enjoy the
looking at his
ride. Enjoy the ride that Adam Schefter's taking you on.
Okay. So, in my mind, it's probably wise for them to tag him. The tag is $26 million. On the open market, he's going to get over $30 a year, right? So, of course, you tag the guy and you try to work towards a long-term deal. But that doesn't preclude the possibility of tagging and trading.
Oh, the old
What are the
tag and
rules with the
trade.
trade? What are the rules with the trade? What do they owe if you're tagged?
Well, I think in this particular case, I have to brush up on my terminology, but I think he could negotiate with other teams, and then he could agree to sign some kind of offer sheet, and the two sides could negotiate compensation.
Yeah, but I think it's like 2 picks is where it starts. 2 ones or 1-1 or something like that.
Yeah, but they could agree to the compensation. They could agree.
Oh, so they can get around that. So that is not something.
It's
that's
not
in
going to
the rules.
be 2 ones hard and fast, or even a 1 hard and fast.
Boom.
Like the
Okay.
Patriots are
So
not.
it's just a
Let's
deal.
put this out there right now. The Patriots are not giving up pick number 4 for T. Higgins, no matter how good he is. It's just not going to happen.
Got it.
Right.
Okay.
So now the question is, okay, so what is doable if that is the team that they decide to
Sure.
engage in, and New
Hypothetically.
England has all the cap room, and
they
New
got
England-
compensation and opportunity.
Got high picks in the second and third round.
Hey, Vrabel's cutting bars out there. We got compensation and opportunity up here in New England. And
Yeah.
if that's what you're looking for, I guess we're the right spot.
So
We're
you
also
have to-
talking about
you're not
culture.
going to. I don't think the Patriots are going to be able to, or the Patriots or any team will be able to just go sign T. Higgins and move on the way that is the case with some true unrestricted free agents.
All right,
But I
let's
think
stay
they
in
might be-
Cincinnati then.
yeah.
Let's stay in Cincinnati. Trey Hendrickson came on our show, Radio Row, and he's a strapping lad.
He
He's a strap
really
on the other
is.
He is a strapping lad.
Great guy.
Great guy. Sack king
Yeah.
of
This year.
last year. He said
They love him in the organization.
in Cincy.
Not that much.
Well,
Yeah,
that's-
we'll find out.
Yeah, we'll see.
Anyway, continue on.
No, that's what I was asking. Yeah, he
What-
said you either pay me or like trade me kind.
Yeah.
He kind of said that. Now he said it in a much more professional and kind
Correct.
manner. But it was like, hey, come on, because he didn't want to do it.
No.
Like I feel as like he didn't want to do it. He thought he probably earned like, hey, I'm not the one that should be having to do this. But if we're just going to be talking about stuff like something needs to be said, so I respect him doing that and appreciate him doing that. But now, what is the other side of that? You think for Duke? You said they respect him in the organization. Does that mean they're going to get a deal done, or are they going to be like the Cincinnati Bengals, which they are the Cincinnati Bengals?
the Chiefs.
Is that
It's a hard deal to get done. It's a hard deal to get done because you're talking about a guy that led the NFL in sacks this year.
Yeah.
And you're looking at an offseason in which TJ Watt is going to have his
Right.
deal adjusted. You're going to see a deal adjusted. There's a few defensive ends. There's a couple of others.
Garrett.
Miles Garrett.
Micah is coming up.
Micah is another one. There's a few of them. Josh Sweat's going to kill it in free agency.
Yep.
So Trey Hendrickson, what is his production worth when he has gotten more sacks than guys who have gotten big deals in recent years, like Josh Allen Hines
Yep.
Sure.
in Jacksonville? Like, I think there's a team out there that's going to be willing to pay him.
Yeah, and he's awesome. Like you talk to
He's the
obviously.
kind of guy you want to have on your team.
Yeah, he's a great culture builder. Like it just feels like that as soon as he walks in. Good luck to Cincinnati. This is like.
Well, here's the thing.
That's what happens whenever
The
Jamar
Bengals-
Chase still on.
Yeah.
And Jamar is going to be, they say, in their own words, the highest paid non-quarterback in football history. The Bengals said that.
Congrats,
Duke Tobin
Jamar.
said that.
They earned it.
He could be
Right.
capping
So
on that.
So hold on.
They could be capping though. We don't know. We haven't seen the tweet.
By the way, you could make it such that Jamar's cap number this year is conducive to getting deals done for everybody else. But there are a lot of players to sign. There's a lot of money to lay out. I think the Bengals are saying all the right things.
Sure.
But let's see what they actually do.
You got it. Tone got a question for you, Schefty.
Yeah, I do. If we were to play quarterback musical chairs, let's say with Stafford, Rodgers, Justin Fields, and Russell Wilson, what do we think is going to happen? Is what?
That's a pretty interesting.
Well, those are. I mean, is Stafford the first domino to fall?
100%. And unless Pittsburgh feels like there's no chance we're going to get a deal done for Matthew Stafford,
Sure.
we're just going to go sign
Oh,
Russell
those are all
Wilson.
quarterbacks for the Pittsburgh Steelers.
No, those are the quarterback names that are out there right now.
Free agency.
Yeah.
And they're all tied together
Yeah.
to a certain extent, and they're all, I believe, waiting on Matthew Stafford.
Gotcha.
all teams that are interested in a quarterback right now are interested in Matthew Stafford.
Well, let's see. You give me the teams.
Okay, so Giants, obviously.
Yeah.
Raiders.
Yeah.
Pittsburgh.
Yeah.
Indianapolis Colts.
Haven't heard them with him.
Browns.
Okay, of course.
I mean, the Vikings.
Yeah.
No.
Not the Vikings?
For Stafford, no.
Oh, for Stafford, no.
Not for Stafford. Who are you talking about?
No, yeah, we're talking about Stafford.
Yeah.
But you
No
said not for
Vikings.
Stafford, so that means Aaron for the Vikings?
No, Aaron.
Oh, wait a minute.
Hold
We're
on,
him hawing
hold on.
around.
No. We're him. Give me a moment to answer the question. Come on, man.
How many moments do you
That's not how we
need?
work, Shefty.
Moments do you
Get
need?
to it. We need to get to
Yeah,
it.
I don't want Pat saying like he's withholding information. Like, what am I withholding? I'm trying to answer.
Information.
Yeah,
the
that's what I'm
tell
trying
us.
to hear. Yeah,
You
you
tell
let
us.
know.
Come on, man. With Aaron, I think we start with the fact that you have to see where Matthew's going to go. Is Matthew going back to L.A. or is he not going to L.A.? Because if he's not going to L.A., I'm sure that L.A. appeals to Aaron Rodgers. That would be my guess.
Okay.
And you would know probably better than I, but I believe that Aaron wants to play. I believe he wants to play at least another year. I believe he's got a chip on his shoulder that he wants to come back and play this upcoming season and show people that he still has the juice and still can get it done. So I think he's going to play. Now, you may have some different information. You can correct me at any moment. I don't want you withholding information either.
Whoa.
on.
Don't withhold information on us,
withholding
Pat.
any
Do your job,
Don't
Schefter.
withhold information on us, Pat.
Lads, please. I reported earlier that my source
Says.
have told me that they're out of the country right now. And they've also told me that they're open to everything attached to nothing.
Okay.
Okay? Which certainly means retirement as an option. Okay?
Yeah.
Always has.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Last couple years, I think. Especially at that age, with that resume, with the amount of money accrued. I think he's the highest paid guy
Yes. All time.
ever in there. So like with everything. So now it goes back to that. He cut a promo about football on our show about why he loves it. And it's like his need for competition. Like he needs to compete. And the NFL is his outlet basically to compete against others. And although he is a hippie, and although these past couple years with the Jets have certainly gone horrendously,
That's the Jets.
maybe.
Sure. Probably.
Don't you want that to be answered? Is how I kind
Do you
of
think he wants to go out like that?
So I would say AJ is the closest person to Aaron Rodgers. Okay, AJ not with us because he's got Buckeye cruise. Okay, congrats to the Buckeyes
Yeah.
going out on a cruise.
That'll be fun.
That's going to be a good one.
We will see him next week. AJ is, I think, I don't want to speak for once again. Don't want to speak for Aaron, but I think AJ very close with Aaron.
Yep.
I think AJ would tell you if he was here. It's like maybe, but then like maybe something happens, and it's like
Yeah, you never know.
maybe
Well,
he's
listen.
back in, and then maybe. But I don't think I think Aaron is literally open to everything. I think
Yeah,
he's
of course.
he's a deep thinker too.
Of course.
So he's a hippie. He's a deep thinker. People have their issues with a decision he made during COVID and everything like that. But like whenever it comes to like being a competitor and like everything that's on the line right now, like I think he takes it very, very, very seriously, like incredibly seriously, especially because it's like legacy stuff, you know.
Anything could happen with him, but you said it yourself. Your mind, the last two seasons went horrendously. I have a hard time believing that when there's going to be a team that is interested in having him come in with this way the last two seasons went, that he's not going to do it.
Agreed. I agree with you. I'm saying, but I've not heard that from
Right.
source says. That's what I'm saying.
That's fine.
And we've talked about as soon as the Jets turn over, it's like he's probably not going to be there either. And I think he was very cool with going back to Jets
Yep.
and like leading maybe potentially a younger guy, helping in the thing and making it right with the Jets people. I think he legitimately did not like that the Jets hype beforehand and how happy Jets fans were and how much hope there was and then not delivering on that. I think that actually like kind of weighed up. So I think he did want to go back. I think we all talk about football every single day. We're like, new GM, new coach. That's probably not going to happen, you know, in reality. So I think he's going to play still. I think a lot of people think he's going to play still. But
And again,
I don't
let's go
think-
through this for a moment. If Stafford decides to move on and the Rams decide to trade him,
Why would that happen? Why is this happening? By the way?
Question.
it's a great question.
It's every year. Feels
Yeah, it
like
feels-
with him.
I think that's part of the problem. Like, it keeps coming up. And why does it keep coming up? It shouldn't be coming up. I think that he should be happy with them. They should be happy with him. And there are issues that both sides have been working through. And I think in this particular case, he's on a contract where he's scheduled to make $27 million, no guaranteed money. You have to adjust the contract. You've given the
I think that's probably what.
Hold on. So now you've given the agent permission to go out and see what other teams would be willing to offer, and you probably find that other teams are willing to offer more, right? So now it comes down to what Matthew Stafford wants to do. Do you want to leave a place where you've had a great run here, where you've won a Super Bowl, where your family is set up, or do you want to go for more money to another one of these franchises that's interested in a city you haven't lived in? And I think that basically is where we're at.
And do you think there are franchises in a city that he's never lived in that are interested and willing to pay?
Yes.
And willing to pay?
Yes.
And trade?
Yes.
Wow.
Okay, so when's that happening? Is that just going to happen? Is that what we assume?
He might want to be in L.A. He may decide that, okay, you know what? I think that's what.
Oh, so he's allowed to listen to offers, right? Like we're just listening to what people.
Okay, right. So you're willing to offer me this, and you would do this, and you would, and I'm talking to the Rams, and they want me back, and they're willing.
And they
to
have an offer too, obviously.
And they have an offer too. Like, okay, but their offer might not be as long or as much as other teams. So okay, well, what do I want to do? It seems like you're showing me more love, and you're showing, but you also haven't won, and you haven't won.
Wow.
And you're not close to winning, but.
Whoa.
Jeez.
But I'm in a place where
The hell?
no disrespect.
No disrespect.
And so here I got the Rams, and it's not exactly perfect the way I want it to be money wise, but you know, I don't have to move to you or you, and I'm probably gonna be more competitive. I feel like my best chance to win maybe here, although I'm confident enough that I can help you win, I can help you win, I can help you win. I can turn around all your franchise. So what do I want to do?
Man, I'll tell you what, dude, that was good acting.
That was.
Good hypothetical.
Schefter needs his own ride at Disney.
That was really good. What was that, SAG, those awards the other
Yes.
night?
Yeah. Uh-huh.
Timothy
Those were fun.
Timothy Chalamet?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Get the guy, Mike, please.
Yeah, what are we doing?
Legend.
Timothy Chalamet. Did you meet him at game day? That guy's unbelievable.
He's the best.
He's a dog.
Oh,
Dude, he is
God.
a dog.
Should listen to him in that new Bob Dylan movie. It's so good.
Off the charts.
Yeah, he crushed it.
He's going to win the Oscar this Sunday, right?
I don't know. I don't know that world enough. Ty would know.
I don't think so.
Who?
Adrian Brody, I think. The brutalist, they're saying, is going to
Really?
sweep everything.
He was.
He won.
He was brutal.
That is brutal.
He stole my breath.
It's, it's the kind of movie that's made to win those type of awards. I just don't think Chalamet is going to. Although Rami Malek won it, not too long ago. So there's a chance.
Yeah.
Wow, he was great.
In those movies that win all the awards, they're the poopy movies, but people love them.
No, yeah. I've seen
Sometimes.
all of those movies. That's what I find in my world when I watch these award shows. Wow, nice outfits. And then I learn, I don't know any of this shit.
Yeah.
I don't know it. We're talking movies, soundtrack, songs. I don't actors who pop up there.
You don't know much about Bob Dylan?
So I know Bob Dylan. When Timmy popped up there, now you asked me if I know Timmy. Yeah, I fucking know Timmy Chalamet. Please,
Is he your cell phone? Like we FaceTime him?
No, we're not that close.
Okay.
I knew nothing of him before game day, college game day, and then he came in, did the kick, then he did his picks, knew his shit.
Oh my God, did he know his stuff?
But he was like cool, like very. Like this guy's a superstar.
This guy,
yeah. Like people were like going people were going crazy over this guy.
Brought his mom to the SAG Awards.
Yeah, and he was dapping these people up. The way he was interacting, I was like, and he was he was fucking awesome. Like
He's gifted.
I like that he said too, like Michael Phelps and Michael Jordan are also inspiration. Like I'm not just trying to be here. And his mom, 35 years in the Union or whatever.
To the Philly.
It's like I didn't know he grew up in this space. So this is like Peyton.
He grew up. He grew up in
in
an apartment in New York, and his family was in that in theater or production, right?
Yeah.
He loves ball too.
Ball.
There's footage of him from back in the day at the Knicks game. I think
Huge basketball guy.
Yeah, he loves ball. So that's a sports guy. In my eyes, that's a sports guy.
When you
going.
watched him on College Game Day, you could not speak the way that he did with the depth of knowledge that he had and not be a huge sports fan. That guy was
Agreed.
He was incredible.
So I saw some people that were haters, and everybody has them, and they will always exist. They said like, well, he just studied. He's an actor.
Memorized
he just
his
memorized
notes.
the notes or whatever. It's like, yeah, but the way he was talking was like, guy knows ball. Like the way he was
confidently.
Yeah, and it was. And the things he was saying, little things that were like, oh yeah, like actually knows ball here. Now this, you can hear some of the things. It's like, oh, you did what I do in this show. Okay, where?
Yeah.
Right. That is because there's so many teams, so many humans, so many games. It's like you try your best to keep up with 132 schools. That's going to be a tough thing to do. But then you heard some shit. Yeah, I view him as a sports guy. Go get them all, Timmy.
Is he an NFL fan too or not?
I assume he knows ball. I assume at some point. He's in New York though, so he's been. just kind of brutalized by those teams. Giants interested, huh?
Well, there's a lot of teams interested.
Yeah, but I've heard it feels like the Giants are the ones, right, that are like super interested.
I think they're all interested.
Everybody's super interested.
I think everybody's super interested.
Hell yeah.
In Matthew Stafford. Any teams that we have not brought up yet?
No, you've run the gamut.
Raiders, Giants, Steelers.
And others have checked in. But I think I view that as kind of the playing field, so to speak.
Ty has a question for you, Schefty.
So one quarterback that he's technically available, but maybe not, Kirk Cousins. Terry Fontenot said yesterday, like, hey, we're comfortable with just sticking with this guy. He'll be the backup. We've talked that, like, that's probably not going to be the case. The Browns might make sense. Is he completely separate from the other guys? Like, what happens with Stafford? Does that matter at all to what is going to potentially happen with Kirk Cousins?
Yeah, I think he's separate.
Okay.
I think he's a separate case. And I know the Falcons have said all that they've said. The Broncos said something similar last year about Russell Wilson, and then they wound up releasing him. And I'd be surprised if Kirk Cousins is in Atlanta this season. However it plays out, I mean, that I just don't see it that way. But if they want to pay their backup quarterback more money and sink another $10 million in guaranteed money into him, then I guess he can be there.
So what happens? He gets entered into the quarterback sweepstakes that are happening?
The Browns, right, Schefty?
Well, the thing is, he's got a no trade clause.
You see.
So he would have to sign off on it. He could veto every trade. So eventually, I think the Falcons are going to have to release him. And if and when he is released, you would hope it would be sooner rather than later while there are quarterback chairs, because if he waits later, they don't owe him anything, but they could do it later, and then he doesn't really have an ideal landing spot. The sooner they let him go, the more options he would have. And the Falcons already are paying his salary, which is why a team like, I'm not telling you to be the Browns, but the Browns make sense because they've got other financial commitments and obligations. He's got a relationship with Kevin Stefanski. He's a Midwestern guy.
What came out about Stefanski today on the report card?
Oh, yeah, he was one of the 3 lowest coaches.
Ranked coaches.
Yeah.
Stefanski.
In lowest coaches in what?
Just the players, brother.
Yeah,
this is the players speaking. You know, whenever you guys used to decide who gets heard, now the NFLPA does a report card, brother, and they say this guy stinks. Is what the players are saying.
Yeah.
That was that locker room. The proper people would be reading their judgment.
Good question.
You know, that's the whole. That's the follow-up debate. Like, hey, that team stinks. So, do we care what they think about these things?
Did he not win the Coach of the Year twice?
Yeah, but that's from you guys.
Yeah.
Not me. I'm not a voter.
Well, actually,
Are you not?
No.
Tony.
No.
Oh, that's
I
it.
voted. I voted KOC one time.
Yeah, let's talk about the Vikings. Who are they? So they're just Sam Darnold's going back. What's?
We'll see about that.
Ooh.
JJ.
Well, if you listen to the general manager, Kwesi Adolfo-Mensah, talk yesterday, he certainly talked like a guy whose team was committed to J.J. McCarthy. That was my read between the lines. They haven't said anything, and we'll see how
What they say? We want to spend more money.
Just talked about how much confidence they have in J.J. McCarthy, and J.J.'s a great guy, and I think he's got a really bright future, and he's got a chance to be a really good quarterback. And they invested the high pick in him, and I think they absolutely believe in him. And because of all those factors and the way that it finished at the end of the season for Sam, I think that they have an interest in Sam. But what is the number that it's going to be for Sam? And is there another team out there that is willing to pay Sam more? And so now we're back to Matthew Stafford. Because is Matthew Stafford staying in L.A.? If he's staying in L.A., well, then the Raiders didn't get him. And if the Raiders didn't get him, I think the Raiders would have an interest in Sam Darnold. But what if the Raiders get Matthew Stafford? Then what happens to Sam Darnold? Then there's one less option. So you could see where the tentacles of the Stafford situation reach out and impact guys like Sam Darnold and Aaron Rodgers.
So Kevin O'Connell, we feel like, can make anybody a good quarterback.
So far.
So, like, it feels like that is who he is and who he's going to be as a coach. And then we heard that clip from the locker room where he's chewing the boys out. And it's like, hey, Kevin O'Connell, Coach of the Year for good reason. This guy knows ball. So if you don't want to spend as much money on a quarterback, maybe it makes sense.
Yeah.
Maybe it makes sense.
I think that they have an interest in Sam Darnold, but they have an interest in Sam Darnold at a certain number. And now let's see how strong the market is for Sam Darnold and whether there's a team out there, whoever it is, that's willing to pay him more than the Vikings are.
Go ahead, Connor.
Yeah, speaking of markets, obviously we're at the Combine here. It's wonderful. Indianapolis, Lucas Oil. What's the status with the number 1 overall pick? Borgonzi has said, he'll listen. Is there a guy this year where it's like a lot of teams are picking up steam? Cam Ward has been mentioned, and the Raiders are one of the teams that's been mentioned. I don't know if that is legitimate or not. Where do you see the draft kind of falling? Is it going to be everyone kind of stays pat, or do you think there will be some movement and quarterbacks will be the top couple picks before like an Abdul Carter or Travis Hunter?
I think that the Titans have hired a new GM in Mike Borgonzi, and they've rearranged their front office. And because of that, I don't think that they are as far along as some of these other teams that didn't have any changes on their board. And so the teams that have checked in with the Titans to see whether Tennessee would be willing to trade pick number 1 have been told, hey, we might be, but we're not there yet. We need to see how this process is going to play out. We want to go to Indy. We want to go to the quarterback pro days. So we could eventually see Tennessee trade that number 1 pick, but I don't think we're going to see anything happen with them for a while. Like we saw the Carolina Panthers trade for the number 1 overall pick from the Chicago Bears on March 10th. We saw the New York Jets go from wherever they were 1 year to number 3 to draft Sam Darnold, and I believe that might have been in early February, certainly no later than mid-March. I don't think the Titans are going to make a move that early. If we see something with Tennessee, I think it'll go into April before they have a decision about what they're doing at 1. And I think they're open-ended in a lot of different ways. So there's not clarity at the top about what Tennessee's going to do. I do believe that Cleveland will go quarterback at 2 no matter what, and it'd be interesting to see if they decide, hey, it's important enough, let's go from 2 to 1 to lock in the quarterback we want. Maybe that winds up happening. We'll see. But it's too early to say how it's going to play out because Tennessee really is still in information gathering mode.
If you have Adam Schefter's number, please text him while he is speaking.
I got a lot of text here already.
Yeah, we got anything cooking? You could definitely do the checkup there if you want to. Because we're at the Combine, so you could, Schefter, you could do your thing while we chat about the point you just made there. So 2, Cleveland Browns taking quarterback. That'll be interesting.
Oh, yeah.
That'll be interesting. If that's the first quarterback that's taken, obviously who knows who goes up to 1 to potentially maybe get a quarterback that they want if they miss out on free agency or whatever the case is. It's like whenever you're talking to your NFL insider, been around, more combines than a 31-year-old guy he was talking to outside. He was born and raised in Indianapolis, Indiana. So you're talking to everybody around here. What are they saying about this draft class? What is the conversation about this draft class?
A few things. I think that the strength of this draft, according to the people who have really dug
Insiders,
into it,
yes, all the people you've talked to, yeah.
personnel people, middle rounds, 3, 4, 5. A lot of good depth and talent there. And I think the feeling is that the player you get at number 10 in this draft is similar to the player that you get at 35.
Jeez.
Wow.
So there's a group in there where there's not a huge separation.
Huge payday difference.
Yes.
Yeah, oh yeah.
Drafted 11 overall, 34 overall. Man, if you're in that bubble, let's have a big week here at Indianapolis.
Yeah.
I mean, how do you feel about the Shedeur not throwing? We saw that
I'm
on
fine
a
with
tweet.
it. Well, we don't know whether Cam Ward is still Cam Ward has been preparing like he's going to throw. He's worked up a bunch of stuff like he's going to throw. Doesn't mean he's going to throw. Hasn't made a decision yet, to the best of my knowledge. We'll see how he decides to handle it. But Shedeur is not going to be here working with guys that he hasn't had timing with. He's going to wait to do it at his pro day.